Yours, I had a bit of an attempt at making a terminal cover. Start with the easiest meter first. One of these Iskras. Bit of Fisher and Parker wash machine plastic there. That's pretty easy to work with off one of those lids. It's quite easy plastic to work with, so I could paint that up and that would look good and be nice and strong as well. Looks a bit ugly, but it stops fingers getting into live components, which is a most important bit. It does the job. I reckon the original one would have looked something like this, but that don't fit, it's too narrow. I gotta find a terminal bolt for there. Might have one somewhere. I've got some, I think I got about 2 spares left from the last smart meter I had in the last haul. So hopefully they're gonna fit. Yes, there's some bit different there than the email ones. Hopefully the threads are the same. This is the specs. It's a single phase 2 wire, 12895G2, 240 volt, 1500 ampere, 266.6 Hz per kilowatt hour, CL2, 50 Hz. Iskra 4 proprietary limited, made in Slovenia. 1998, the year it was made. There's a schematic right there. The email ones usually have it under the terminal cover. This one here has it right here. Pretty straightforward. Phase in, neutral out, phase out. Simple. Let's get hooked up and test it. I got to dig out my meter board now. Gotta get that ready. And there goes my last one. There was 2 left in this one. One went to the SD, one went to this. There we are. Looks like these use the same standard thread as well, terminal screws. Alright, now ready to hook it up and test it. Everything's been double checked, everything's nice and safe or hooked up correctly. Turn it on. I hear it humming. A lot of these European meters I've come across have a noisy potential coil rattling the disc there. Now, when I was handling it on its own, the load wheel was perfect. It's not, the load wheel is not moving around. So the bearings in this are actually in really good nick. So no, that hum noise is not the load wheel rattling around. It's definitely the potential coil. Yeah, it's a noisy one, that's for sure. What can we plug in? I reckon the vacuum cleaner will do. Yeah, we'll try that. A kettle instead. No water in there. It's almost bone dry, so I won't run it for long. You see the load wheel moving around in there. It moves the right way, so that means everything's hooked up correctly. And it doesn't look warped either, it's perfectly straight. Kettle off. Yeah, that would damage the kettle. There we are, it's working quite nicely. Yep, thermal cutout tripped, but the kettle won't go now. Anyway, let's try and get that tool lined up there, line that tool up perfectly so I can get ready for an accuracy test. Finally arrived. Parcel high 1 voltage line rules sent me. Yeah, took its bloody time, that's for sure. Alright, let's open it. Hopefully the goodies are okay. Usually it takes bloody 2 weeks for the goods to arrive, but they must have got held up with customs for a bit longer than expected. It's getting a bit bloody worried there. Capacitors here. 450 volt, 5600 microfarad. Nippon Chemicon. Quite a nice, very well made piece of equipment. Then my microwave oven inverter flyback that's been rewound, running in oil. You're not going to risk burn this one out like I did with my last few, that's for sure. And some IGBTs and another amp meter. Sweet. Thanks very much for these, Anthony. Yeah, I'll get back to this meter now. Charging up this buggered up dual battery. It's moving its load wheel quite slowly. Saving some energy, so that dot. Yeah, it's moved. Yeah, from what I can tell anyway. Yeah, I reckon it just about passed the accuracy test. I reckon there's better losses because this is actually being metered. This is actually measuring its potential call too. You got to take into account. So there'll be a bit of difference. You allow for that. Oh yeah, battery's buggered. It only charges halfway. Bloody thing. This is a good battery. Yeah, not pulling as much power. The wheel moves faster with that battery. That battery's buggered. Anyway, I'll continue on with another load. Try this load. It's for 100 watt hours. Yeah, about 7 amps here. It's 100 watt hours, so it's pretty much on the mark, or between that one, so vertically it's between on the other set. Make sure it's nice and level there. It's got a similar pattern of load wheel to one of my other lettuce and Gaia has. So far so good. Here we are, a bit faster. That's 10 amps now. Vintage double pole power point there, and a bit of wood. That's almost halfway there. Yep, same here. It's advancing the same. Look at those little tiny dots there on the end of that one unit. They're tenths. Yep, looking good so far. That's halfway through. And that sounds about halfway through where it was. Looking good. This meter is the one that's been chipped and looks like it's been dropped, so it's good to see there's nothing rattling around inside it. It's still accurate. There's no misaligning of the load we're going on in there, which is good. Hasn't compromised the meter mechanically in any way. 229,392. Almost hit the dot, so that middle one would be when it's on the dot, that middle line there. So it's 229,391.9. It's approaching halfway on that, through that little indicator there. Almost there. The tiniest bit to go. So far so good. Yeah. That's about right where it was before. Unplug that meter. Unplug that safety first. This cord's a bit small. That's not too bad. Here we are. 229,391.95. So 100 watt hours exactly between that one and that one have advanced. So this meter's pretty accurate. Alright. That'll be it for this one. Anyway, thanks for watching.